It's been 6 months since Russia invaded Ukraine, and there seems to be no end to the war in sight. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has warned Moscow of a powerful response if Russian forces carry out attacks on or around Ukraine's Independence Day. Zelensky has also said that Russia could try something particularly ugly today, as today marks Ukraine's break from the Soviet rule. Now, CNN's David McKenzie is joining us from Ukraine's capital now. David, Kyiv is on high alert ahead of Ukraine's Independence Day. What extra measures are being taken in the capital to ensure the safety of its residents?
This is a very important week for Ukraine. It's the Independence Day on Wednesday, which is the 31st anniversary of Ukraine's removal from the Soviet Union. And normally it would have big celebrations, parades on the streets behind where I'm standing. But this year they certainly are aware here in Ukraine of a heightened Russian forces into key decision-making centers here in the capital, Kyiv, and in other major cities in Ukraine. So they've banned large gatherings, celebrations. They've also reduced the amount of government officials coming into the city and just keeping the bare minimum so that the city can run. President Zelensky warned of cruel actions by Russia at this time. But at this stage, there's no evidence anything is going to happen, certainly not in the public. But there is this heightened fear. The U.S. State Department has asked U.S. citizens to leave immediately from the territory if they can. And so the next few days are likely to be tense here in the capital and throughout Ukraine.
All right, now how worried do we really need to be about the situation at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant?
Well, this certainly is a continuing worry. There isn't any real momentum on getting inspectors to that nuclear power plant in the south of Ukraine. The head of the IAEA said to us that there is some progress in the talks to get inspectors in, but it's a very tricky prospect. They would have to go through Ukrainian territory across the front line into that nuclear power plant. Over the last few days, there has still been accusations of shelling by the Ukrainians and the Russians and fears of some kind of meltdown or leak should the power to that plant get severed. Less of a fear of a direct strike because those nuclear reactors are so well protected. But despite the talk of progress, no real sign that Russia is willing to demilitarize that zone, get their troops out of there, which would make it easier and more acceptable to the Ukrainian side to get inspectors in.